I mean, there's so much in rally racing, the distance, the time, but this thing right here, this is the whole key to it. This is a road book. This is a road book from this year's Dakar rally. So, I mean, pretty amazing to see here, just all the notations and everything that you have to do.
So much work, so much color, so many information, so many numbers.
So, were you always good with maps? Were you always good with sense of direction? Did you always have a good feeling about that? Because you've been a natural at it.
The thing is, I have no sense of direction. I am the worst at remembering where I am.
Which point north for me right now? Which direction's north?
Yeah, that way.
Pretty close. Pretty darn close. Yeah, you're right. You're not. You're not.
Yeah.
Good job.
I think I don't have a good memory. So there's a big difference from like, we go into a mall and we walk to the end of the mall and I don't remember how to get back. Versus I have a road book in front of me all day and all I have to do is read it, right? Like,
read.
I think
well, you have to read it and interpret it too.
Yeah. I think I'm really good at taking in the information and understanding it, but that goes right out the door when I get to the next note, you know? Like, I don't remember any of the stages. I remember when I got lost.
Right.
Because that's the only crazy thing that happens that day. I remember if I launch off a dune, because that's like the only crazy thing that would happen that day. I don't think I have a very good memory, and I think maybe that helps me. Like, if I don't assume I know where I'm going, I don't. It always keeps me focused, and I always have to look to the road book to know where to go. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm lost.
Yeah. Well, you do have to compartmentalize, right? If you make a mistake, you have to get over that quickly and keep looking forward with it. But, you know, in Dakar, you're making 1 million decisions a day. I mean, from the moment you wake up to getting dressed and what goggles and everything else, and then as soon as the ride starts, you're focused on this and you are making 1 million decisions. What's your thought process as you go through it? Are you really like thinking ahead to the next notation? Are you trying to give your brain a little bit of a mental break? Are you like, hey, I'm third or fourth in line, I'm just going to follow these other guys for a while, let them do the heavy lifting? How do you approach it?
Yeah, so let's say we're mid-stage and I'm just read a note and now I'm on to the next note. Like, something I always do is when I'm ready to look down in the middle of racing.
Right. But you got to pick and choose your moments there.
Yeah, you really have to tell yourself slow down and read. Right. So I always try to take in all the information I can in one go, meaning I make sure I can look for a while. And instead of looking down multiple times, I try to take in all the information. Maybe I'll make sure that the next note isn't right after, because if it is, then I slow down even more.
Right.
Distance between notes is something, maybe step 2.
Right.
Next up is
so it's a long distance. If it's a long distance, you notate and you give your mind a little bit of a break, because you know you don't have to think about it for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's all like, you need to have a good understanding of distance. If it says you got 5 kilometers before you need to turn left, for 5 kilometers you need to be racing, not navigating, not looking down every 200 meters, you know, and that's a big difference.
Slowing down every time you look down, too.
Yeah. And one of the reason I think I had a crash this year is because maybe I looked at a bad time. Obviously, I hit a water crossing, and I think, I don't remember, but this is the reason, this is what I think happened. I think instead of slowing down and navigating, I tried to race and navigate, and a water crossing came up real quick at 100 miles an hour, and there's nothing I could do. So, yeah, people think it's very tough, but also to navigate really good, the trick is to just let off the gas. You know, you have to take in the information because it's so important and you can get so hurt. There's so many dangers, and most of them are in the road book. Obviously this time it wouldn't matter anyways because I'm looking down and I hit something, right?
Right.
But it's all
picking your moment, when to focus and everything. So let's talk about it. I mean, it's one thing to navigate and follow the tracks in front of you and get to the finish line and have a good result. It's another thing on another level completely to open the road and win a stage, and you've done that now.
Yeah.
And you did that. You at the beginning of the rally, you seemed to be on fire this year. I mean,
I opened a lot.
I mean, that takes a lot of confidence. You know, I've done it myself. It's hard work. You're doing a lot of heavy lifting. I mean, did you feel comfortable out there? You must have felt comfortable out there, but I mean, that's hard work. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, for sure. I think you can only work so hard for so long, and you can definitely get tired. But most days where I get my confidence is when I don't see tracks going every direction.
Oh.
I definitely read and ride a road book different than the other riders.
Ah, interesting.
Like, for example, maybe I cut turns really early. So I don't know why I do it. I think maybe I'm gaining an advantage, right? But if anyone follows me, they see, okay, we turn early, right?
Right.
But for me, when I'm navigating, I'm always looking forward to the next note. I know if there's a left turn coming up, so I'll just turn early. And yeah, I think it's just when I try to read the tracks and I see tracks going a little bit later or whatever, it just kind of throws me off, you know?
Throws you off a bit.
It's just not.
So you're saying, what you're telling
we
me
have
is
different styles, I guess, you know?
you feel more comfortable, no tracks in front of you, and just using this in your GPS.
Yeah, for sure.
And doing it.
My first Dakar, stage 2, I started 5th. I was the second bike on the road. There was only one track ahead of me. And I stopped. I said, I must have screwed up. Because it's my first Dakar. I'm not that good, right?
Yeah, I must have made a mistake.
There's the doubt. And that eliminated all confidence. I lost 40 minutes that day because I wasn't confident.
And you were on the right route.
Yeah.
You just didn't accept that you were on the right route. Wow,
exactly.
Interesting.
So for me, my confidence comes when I'm opening, you know, like I make the decision, I'm the right one, you know, and I think of course you're going to lose time, but that's a whole other story, right?
Right.
We're talking about confidence, and where I'm the most confident is when I'm in front.
Well, if you're going to win overall, sooner or later you have to open the road, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you signed up for. I mean, just an amazing story. I mean, myself, I'm just blown away, Mason, at just, you know, the progression that you've got in such a short period of time. And I have to say, also, we're in a period of time when Dakar has never been more competitive from a rider standpoint. Factory teams. Well, you know, when I was doing Dakar, or back in the heyday of Dakar, you know, there were two, at the start of the event, there were 2 or maybe 3 riders that you could look at them and it's going to be one of those guys, and most likely that guy during the Peter Hansel era or Gilles Lelay era or Eddie Orioli era. You know, there was good, or Mark Coma or Navu or Dupre, you know, those two battled it out. It was him or him. Now at the start of this thing, I look at the thing, I couldn't tell you. There's 10, 12 of you guys up there that any day could win overall, could win the stage and could compete for a podium. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like looking at past results, it's obvious that if you pick someone on KTM, you have a good chance of being right for the winner. But for me, even like you say, looking at the lineup, the entry list, the top 20 are all capable of winning, and it just takes a little bit of luck for everyone, I think. And yeah, it's just gnarly. The riding skill, the riding level is so high now, and yeah, anyone can.
You can't let up for a moment, can you?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can't let off. Like you have to try, and trying doesn't mean kill yourself, right? To ride as best as you can. It means do your best to finish where you want to finish. Then that includes strategy, right? Like, do you want to win or do you want to finish further back? My strategy is always, which may be the wrong strategy. I just wanted to open, right? So yeah, it's doing your best, but knowing how to do your best.
Yeah.
A lot of people know how to do their best. A lot of people don't, and I think being on a factory team obviously makes a difference too, because you have all the experience of someone like Jordi Villadom's giving you all their knowledge from their past
downloading that information. Who does that for you on your team?
So Bart Vandervelden, he goes to the meetings. I used to go, but I've actually didn't make it to one riders meeting this year.
Oh, really?
In bed, sleeping. We were waking up 2 a.m., 3 a.m. every morning, and I would just go over the notes that they put on the Sportity app, and he would give me any extra information that I didn't get because they don't give you everything. And maybe if there was something really dangerous or something crazy, Jordi Villadoms would come over and say something, but pretty often it's just me, my phone, and and then we're off.
I don't think, unless you've done Dakar, I don't think people can even understand what a personal experience it is. You know, you're in your own little world, it seems like, and the whole world could be blowing up. There could be a nuclear war going on, and nothing would matter. It's just you and your bike and your tent, and the guys that are around you and everything. There's a really unique bond that kind of comes out of that with the other riders. Tell us about that from your experience. I mean, I'm sure you met a lot of great people, fellow competitors, a lot of moments on the trail where maybe you're helping and working with each other and stuff. What's that been like for you?
Talking about the top riders,
do you have any friends? Are you guys friends? Or
yeah, everyone's really cool. But my favorite story that I have from this Dakar is I think I started like 40th this stage, and it was post-concussion, just trying to survive. And I came across a rider, and the bike would just not run. We were thinking, is it the fuel pump? Is it wiring? What is it? Like, why is it not working? We switched fuel to the other tanks. It doesn't do anything. He somehow made it to the finish line, and I was doing whatever, just trying to survive. He passes me on the road, and then I find him on the side of the road again. We changed the fuel injector. He went again.
So you're stopping during your rally to help this guy.
Yeah, and it's like the special's over now, and we have a time limit to get to the bivouac.
Right.
Otherwise you get another penalty. But at this point I was just thinking, this guy is still in the race. I need to do everything I can to help him.
Wow.
And yeah, the final fix to get him in was from the TPI, the power on everything, like prime the fuel pump and everything. It's like a little plug. We plugged it into the diagnostics plug on the rally bike. It powered everything up, and he made it in.
Oh, wow.
I still don't know exactly what the problem was. I think very low chance both fuel pumps are going out, right?
Right.
But you never know, because we had so many problems with water this year.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit, but...
Yeah, anyways, it's just cool being able to help everyone, and knowing that most people are not out there to get you, right? Like, it's super bad as like someone who wants to win, right?
Right.
I know at the top level it's not like crazy, but you look at Ken Benavides and he won the race, but he stopped with Matthias.
Right.
And yeah, it's just...
At a critical moment, he didn't know what was going to happen. He could have thrown it all away there, but he stopped a fellow rider.
Yeah, all the riders are really good for that, and that's what makes the sport so good. Is it's like we all feel really safe, I think, and you can't go try to kill yourself unless you know that people have your back.